Hey, Seattle Prep, how are you? My full name is Granville Emerson. Coach G is much shorter. For me personally, January 15th has always been a special day. Why? Because not only was it the day that the great Martin Luther King Jr. was born, it's also my birthday. Sharing this birthday was critical to my psychological as well as social development as a young black boy growing up in Seattle. You see, I was born the only son of 6 children. I had 5 sisters and no brothers. My sisters used to taunt and tease me and tell me that my parents found me in a garbage can. I would cry and complain to my mom about their teasing and became very self-conscious about it. But when I found out that I was born on the same day as Martin Luther King Jr., everything changed. I felt special. I dared to dream. What made Dr. King so great? Well, the list is long and impressive. You could talk about his soaring oratory or his skillful and dynamic writing. You could talk about his values of truth, justice, compassion, dignity, humility, and service. But Dr. King's greatness lied in the hugeness of his heart and his love for humanity. His bold conviction that America needed to realize its full potential as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, including black people, and his willingness to die for that conviction made him extraordinary. Scripture says, there's no greater love than a man lay down his life for a friend. We are called on this holiday not merely to honor, but to celebrate the values of equality, tolerance, and interracial sister and brotherhood he has so compellingly expressed in his great dream for America, said Coretta Scott King. 3 weeks ago, the Seattle Prep boys basketball team traveled to Washington, D.C. for a basketball tournament. And yes, we came home with the championship trophy. When head coach Mike Kelly understood that trip to the nation's capital had to be more than just a holiday getaway for a few nights in a hotel for this group of Seattle Preparatory students. So each morning we arose early, East Coast time, roughly around 5 a.m. Pacific, and took the train to see the historic monuments and museums that adorn the city. I had been to D.C. many times. Even last summer, I stood at the front of the MLK statue and took pictures. But it was on this trip with Jordan Kitchen and his teammates and Coach Elsner that we went to the National Mall, and I stood on the steps in front of the Lincoln Memorial for the very first time and looked out onto the National Mall, the majestic national monument in the sky. And I imagined Dr. King giving arguably the greatest speech in history, I have a dream. If Dr. King were alive today, he would say that his dream is yet to be fulfilled. There's still much work to be done. There's work for you to do. And there's work for me. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is not a day to relax, it's actually a day of service. It's a day to ask yourself, what can I do to make the world a better place, not just for myself, but for others? Dr. King once said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I'll leave you with these final words from Coretta Scott King. This is not a black holiday, it's a people's holiday. And it's the young people, Seattle Prep students, and people of all races and religions who hold the keys to the fulfillment of Dr. King's dream. Thank you.